Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian report for the 25th of January. Just to state the obvious, the ASX is closed tomorrow for Australia Day. So the volume may be lower today for the markets. What I want to focus on today is the ASX here, but also the banking sector and the resource sector as well. So I want to have a look at those sectors because when we look at this here, I just want to point out the point that we have wave 1 and 2 here and 3 and 4 here and then we're going up for wave 5. So we're in wave 4 of wave 5, and between wave 4 and 5 here, we're just looking for 5 little waves to finish off here. Now I need to point out that markets don't always stop and start in a nice sort of format. They're normally dragged around by other markets, so we just need to be aware of that point. But the takeaway here is that we can be quite close to a top here. So I'll drill in here first, and then we'll have a look at the sectors. Okay, so from the daily chart, we'll just go to, say, the 4-hour chart and pick it up from there. Now there has been a little bit of discrepancy here with this, in that this low here is the low on the cash market and not this one here. The same thing here as well. This one here is higher than this one, so it would make sense to put this over here, but on the cash market that's the lower one over here as well. So, and I can count this as an ABC up here, but it kind of feels like an impulse wave as well, and the fact that this move down through here is also in 3 waves as well. So it's something that we will have to sort of work with as well with this. But let's just, so there's those little discrepancies there. Everything said and done, we'll look at wave 1 here with an A wave, a B wave and a C wave, but being mindful of this situation. And then looking up here as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So I'm thinking that we can look up here in sort of 5 waves moving up into this space here, and then an ABC pattern, and then another 5. So probably the 6-9 at this stage. So that would sort of terminate that structure at that point. Now it could go a little bit further than that. Because this is a CFD product here, so it's a mix of the cash and the futures, so to speak, plus fair value, which is another calculation they pop in. Now, if we look at, let's just have a look at, does that fit into the screen? Yep. And this is the XMJ here. Okay, so the materials sector. So the point here is that I won't go in labeling things, but I will go and look at things. We can look at this as 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 and 5 here for this, and then as wave 1 and wave 2 here. And then in this case, we may need to look at this as 1 and 2 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the 3rd wave, 4th wave and 5th wave. So just to go back over that, 1 and 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the 3rd wave, back for the 4th wave, and then up for the 5th wave here. So in the 5th wave here, we can look at, well, this is really the strongest move here, isn't it? It's in the middle here, so that would be the 3rd of the 3rd. So then we could look at this as being, well, maybe yeah, somewhere, yeah. So 3rd wave here, 4th wave here, and then looking at this here perhaps as the 5th wave up here, but that looks corrective here, so that could go further in there, so that could push up further. So I'm not sure how to look at this here. Just let me have a look at the beta shares. I was looking at those before. So this is the beta S&P resource sector for the beta shares. The code is YQRE. So the same thing here as well. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and then the correction. This is in 3 waves here. So in this case, we can look at it as 1 and 2 here, and then the 3rd wave, 4th wave, and 5th wave for the 3rd wave, so to speak. So 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and third wave, fourth wave, and fifth wave here. Now with BHP, I've also looked at this as wave 1 and 2 here, which we'll look at again as well, but just really wanted to focus in here for this. So this is 1 day. I think I looked at this on the hourly as well here. Dragged on through, so that's good. Let me just double check this here. So we've got 1 and 2 here, and third wave in here with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, the third wave, fourth wave, and fifth wave here. So all of that's wave 1 and 2 to here, right? Then we've got 1 and 2 here, and this would all be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the third wave, fourth wave, and fifth wave. So we've got 1 and 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave, ABC for the fourth wave here, and the fifth wave is probably 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, and then going up for wave 5. So we still need to make a new high here. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here to make a little bit more of a high here. But the main point here is that if we were looking at, just go back to the daily charts here, if we were looking at this situation here as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, so that's the conservative view, we're pretty close to the end there for the resources, you know. So yeah, once we do finish this little bit up here, then we've just got to see at that point, you know, it'll be something like we'll get that fifth wave in, and then we'll get some type of correction from that point, right? And then we've got to figure out if we're going to be going lower or we're going to be going higher. I mean, obviously we can go long again, you know, above this high here for that. But yeah, I'm just pointing out that, you know, because if you're holding long positions on things, on resource stocks, then you'll need to be aware of what we're looking at here. So once we get to this point, then we'll get some sort of reaction. We need to check what that reaction is here, if it's bullish, corrective, and so on. And we just got to keep working it until we figure it out, you know. That's the main point with that. The finance sector, which is, might just look at, well, the same thing here. Well, let's just finish off here a little bit first. So let's look at BHP for a moment. So it all sort of revolves around this little guy here. That's what it does here. This move here is corrective and can be placed as 1 and 2 here. So we could look at this as 1 and 2 to here, then 1 and 2 to here. And then the third wave is this guy here. So 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here. 5 here, so 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here for the third wave, back for the fourth wave here, so not calling it wave 2 there, but wave 4, and then looking up here for wave 5. Now we've been conservatively counting up through here in terms of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2 here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So this could go over to here. Then look at this as 1 and 2 here. That thing that gapped up here, I'm always dubious about things that do that. Could we call it wave 5, or do we need to put wave 5 over here? We've got one more little move to the upside here. It's probably the case looking at the markets, looking at the ASX 200, so it's probably likely that we'll get that move up through here for that. But once again, you know, once it gets to 48, or it might even get to 50, who knows? But we're close to a top here. That's what I'm trying to get across here for folks that are trading stocks as such. The finance sector is a little bit different. Let's just go to the XJ here, which is the banking sector. The FXJ is the finance sector, but I just want to sort of peel out the insurance companies and so on. So yeah, I mean, look, this can be counted in two different ways. It can be counted as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here. So an ABC for the A wave here, then the B wave over here, and then the C wave here. And the C wave would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and we're coming close to finishing here. Because the extension's in wave 3 here, that means that this wave structure here can be the same as here. Now in this instance here, we'll be facing a medium level at 6,500, so that's really going to be, we can see that it's sort of held over here a little bit and over here, so it is it has got a bit of history there, so that's likely to be the top here for the XXJ in that regard. Okay, the 6,500, so yeah, it could push up a little bit higher and all those sorts of things. So the other way to count this, of course, is more of a bullish count where we have wave 1 here and wave 2 here, and then a smaller wave 1 and a wave 2 here, and then up for a third wave here. So in this case, we'd need to look at CBA for this. So I don't know which is right, to be honest, but wave 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 here. They do overlap, so that's why I have to do it that way. I can't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1 and 2 here, and 1 and 2, and then the third wave here. Now that makes good sense, you know. And obviously the 90s up there, but we're approaching that old high. So, you know, it could get a bit, it could struggle anywhere along all of that. But if we were looking at it as a wave 4 retracement level, well, let's just say that it moves up a little bit higher here. I mean, it's quite a long way up, but let's just say that it does. So we'd have wave 3 here for that, and then wave 4 here would pull back to the to the 80 here, which makes sense, doesn't it, to a point. It may not make all the way up there and still just pull back to the 80 as well. But what we wouldn't want to see it doing is overlapping this wave 1 here. Because if it overlapped the top of this wave 1 here, then we know that it's bearish at that point. Then we would have to treat this as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave up here. And they would have some sort of equality in length between an ABC here for the A wave, would be roughly the same length as this guy here. We can see that this is toppy here as well. Trends have got a beginning, a middle, and an end, and we can start to see that it's creeping here. And sure, so it can go higher and so on, but today is just really about pointing out that we can be close to a top of a trend, and we just need to be mindful of that in terms of whatever shares and so on you're holding in the resources or the finance sector. Yeah, so from this weekly, this is a weekly chart. So from the daily chart, we've been looking at it wave 1, wave 2, or wave A and wave B here, and then counting to the upside here. So 1 and 2 here, and then looking at this as the third and the fourth here. So I've been really conservative, as you know, and looking at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and finishing here. But it is a little bit small, so it's quite possible we get 3, 4 and 5 coming up here for that. And in that case, and if you wanted to trade long, then you could trade that top there. We had that sitting up there, then we had it here, and now we've got it here. So if that's breached, then that you can go long at that point there. And we can use 90 as the target. But yeah, just wanted to today look at the bigger picture and you know, look at the resources and so on, and see what it all looks like. And that's what it looks like. So we're close to a top here, you know. So for the banking sector here, we could look at this as 1 and 2 here, and 3, 4, 5, or we could look for a top in here as well. We don't have any evidence of a downward move just yet. We would need to see from the top, we would need, before we can start shorting, we'd need to see this here, so 5 waves down, and then the 3 waves back up, and then we can look to short below that. Because we've got 5 in the opposite direction, it means we'll get another 5 over here. So we want to see that, you know, in a reasonable length, you know, over a period of a week or so, so we can really confirm that we've got some sort of turn in top here. And if we do go short, you know, this still could be an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave as a wave 4 coming back down here. But at least if we shorted it here, we can like look after ourselves here. We can get something out of the trend here before it kicks back, you know. it's a start, and we can work that. But otherwise, yeah, that's it really. So I've covered the ASX for the intraday. So yeah, that's just got a little bit higher to go. This one here, the ASX. So yeah, the volume could be low today because of the holiday tomorrow, but the volume should start coming back after that. But yeah, this looks like an impulsive wave here, so we should see a little bit of a corrective wave and then taking us up to the 850 area there. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.